Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Misty and today's video is one that was requested, and that is how do we handle days where kids just aren't feeling it. So I'd love to share with you the things that we do in our household on days like this, but first I do want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and become part of my little corner of YouTube, my little family. Clicking that button will also keep you up to date with all of the videos going on this channel and have them in your home feed. And the like button lets me know that this is a video that you enjoy, so I know what to make for you in the future. So if by the end of this video you find it helpful or useful in any way, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Now let's move on to talking about what we do in our household on days where the kids just are not feeling it. So the very first thing that I often do is ask one question, and that question is, are they hungry or tired? So many times, especially for my toddler, that is a quick solution. They just need some more food in their belly or time to rest. My oldest is 5 and sometimes it's the same for her, but due to her being older, it could be other things, which we will get into here in a second. But definitely for the younger kids, it's usually one of those two. And like I said, it could be for the older ones as well. So the next step I would go into is to ask them what's wrong. I would want to see if they can explain to me what it is that is upsetting them or making them feel down or making them feel blah, whatever it is. I also make sure during this time that I ask open-ended questions if I can, because if you do just direct yes or no questions, you're not really going to get as thorough of explanations as you could. And with open-ended questions, you can help them sort through understanding their own thoughts and emotions. So I would definitely ask open-ended questions. So instead of saying, are you upset? Are you mad? Are you tired? I would openly ask, how are you feeling? What is making you feel this way? What about this lesson that we're doing are you not enjoying? So those would be the kind of questions I would ask, instead of just simply saying, are you not enjoying this lesson? Because I'm only going to get a yes or no instead of them explaining out their thought process on why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And often beyond doing this or during this, cuddles and hugs are something that we would do often. Many times, simply just showing your kids some love and affection will help them feel a little more open and safe to the idea of opening up about their emotions. I mean, for an adult, opening up about emotions isn't always easy, so it's the same for kids, and it creates a more specific challenge for children because their brains aren't fully developed in a way to help them understand and cope with a lot of the emotions they're feeling. So make sure that you're giving them plenty of cuddles, help them bring their guard down so that they can feel comfortable talking to you further about how they're feeling. Another thing that I might do is just move on to the next subject. So if they're just not feeling the subject, there's a few ways to go about it, and the first one is to just move along, do another subject, and come back to this one later. Sometimes it might be like soon after, or sometimes it might even be in the evening. It just depends on what's going on. And if later on, if they're still not feeling it and they're just kind of blah about it, then I may give up on that subject entirely for that day. I don't ever want to feel like it's a forced situation for them. If it's something they're just not into, then they're just not into it, and we will revisit it tomorrow. But if I notice this is a reoccurring theme, then I'm going to start asking, is this curriculum working for us in general? If you've been on my channel for any time within the past few weeks, you know that this has happened. We found that a curriculum was kind of blah and not really giving us the passion we were looking for in learning, and so we had to reevaluate our choices of curriculum and completely nix it altogether. Just be aware sometimes that may be something you have to do if you're just noticing like your kid's just not into it at all. Maybe also it's not that it's a bad curriculum choice, maybe it's just not addressing them in the way that they need to learn. So right there on the spot or within the next few days, can you think of ways to go outside of just like the box that the curriculum gives you and create new ways to learn? Like for my daughter, she hates doing sight words on flashcards. We've realized that for her, and so I don't have to do the flashcards. We have other ways to present sight words, right? We can play games and we can create different ways to do it on the dry erase board. Like there's just so many options for you to come up with. So if it's just not presented in a way that works for them, go ahead and change it up and make it work out in a way that they are more excited to learn. Something else that we often do is we stop and we just get our wiggles out. If I'm just noticing that my child is just not in a good mood and is seeming to kind of be a brick wall to talk to, then often she just needs time to get her body moving and get excited and wiggly. So we'll just put on some music, we'll have a dance party, we'll get some wiggles out, we'll do weird silly things and make silly sounds and just do things to kind of get her to lighten up from the attitude and to kind of break down the wall that she has, that barrier. And this is often something that works for us. So just never discount the value of moving your body. A lot of kids are more physically physically driven than cognitively, and I feel like that might be Viviana. She's quite an antsy child, and so often we just have to get our bodies moving and get us back into a good mindset so that we can sit down and do the more cognitive learning. I said that word really weird right there. Okay, so those are generally the things that we would do in our household. Those are the things that usually work for us, but anything beyond that, you can always come up with more ideas. Clearly, like, there are way more ways to deal with this, but in our house, I feel like that's quite a bit of steps to take. And if things just aren't clicking and moods aren't going well and things are just clashing and, you know, it's not a good time, then at that point, I call it a day. We stop homeschool for the day and we change it up. We may cuddle up on the couch and watch a movie or read books. We might pull out board games and do some board games together. We might make recipes together, you know, and just have some general family time in that way. We may play with toys. We may do some art or other activities, or maybe we even just go for a walk and get ourselves out in nature and fresh air. So instead of dragging feet and forcing the learning to happen, I just make the best of the day. So that does happen. Sometimes you just have to call it a day early and just create space for everybody to be back in harmony and to get along and to just have fun together. Now, the important thing I do want to say is during all of this, you have to, and this is a lot easier said than done, even for myself. I'm not perfect at all. So even for myself, you have to do your best to control your own behavior and attitude, right? So when they're in crabby moods, often it can rub off on us as the parents. It's a lot to deal with, especially when you have multiple kids and they're all in like cranky moods, and like one's over here yelling and throwing a tantrum and the other one's sitting over here pouting and just not wanting to do what they're supposed to do. Like, that's real life. But the thing is, kids will feed off of your energy. They feed off of your actions. I believe in setting the example and trying your best to stay level-headed. Try to stay one step ahead of them at all times and make sure that your body language is showing a lot of love and compassion and empathy for them. They are definitely noticing all those things about you, whether you notice it or not, and they're feeding off of it, and a lot of times it will help keep things a lot more in control than chaotic. So like I said, I'm not even perfect at that, but I do notice a difference when I'm a lot more mindful about my own behavior and attitude, and I try my best to set the best example for them to learn from. And I just thought that was the best way to end the video, because I think a lot of times we forget that we are responsible for a lot of the chaos and frustration too. We play our own role in it. So it's important for us to be mindful of ourselves and to, like I said, just try your best to set the example for how we expect behavior to go. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you hit the like button so that I know that. Also, the subscribe button is right there for you for more videos in the future. But I want to wish you guys a wonderful day. Have fun homeschooling. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.